Bengal fans have been talking about it, and I'm definitely on board for it. Do you think the Bengals should try to go back after Ogunjobi and sign him to another contract?
1,000,000,000%. I was so sorry to see him go, and it's a bad break for him because he really got the contract that he deserved. You know, that $13 million a year, maybe a little bit high. But I was like, you know what? I wanted him back, but the Bears are really taking care of this guy. And, you know, his ship has finally come in. He's finally getting recognized financially. And then, you know, he fails the physical. But what do you expect? Like, he broke his foot in I think it was in the playoffs, right? Like, early in the playoffs. It's hard to pass a physical when you're only a month or two removed from a broken foot. Now, the only thing that would make me not want to bring him back is if it was a Liz Frank injury, because sometimes those can be career threatening. I don't think it was in his case, but it's just like Chicago, you knew he just broke his foot. Of course, he's not going to pass a physical. That you shouldn't have even chased him and went through this if that was going to be an issue. You should have been a little more patient. But, you know, if that's their mistake and that's potentially our gain, let the whole league sleep on him. Let him be the guy out there that failed the physical and no one wants to touch him. Because I was saying this the other day too, maybe not even right now, maybe like August comes and he's unsigned and he comes at a lower price, or even, you know, God forbid in his case, September comes and he's still on the couch because no one wants him. I mean, that's a perfect guy to bring back at a bargain price if that's the case. And I would like to give him his fair due because he contributed a lot to our Super Bowl run this year. But you want to try to save as much money as you can, especially with all the money we spent on the line. We can't be giving Ogunjobi I think we gave him $6 or $8 million last year. You know, I think that's even a little bit too high of a price tag right now based on our current spending. But yeah, please bring him back. That would make the offseason complete if we can find a way to trick everyone and bring Larry Ogunjobi back.
I remember it might have been last week or the week prior. You know, you were talking about you liked Hill and Ogunjobi, but you preferred Ogunjobi over BJ Hill a little bit. Which, I mean, Ogunjobi, he was very underrated with us this past season. The playoff game was the Raiders. You know, he broke his foot in. And from the get-go, you know, with signing with the Bears, that just did not make any sense. I mean, Ogunjobi was good this past season. I don't think he's worth $13 million. Like, to me, that's kind of crazy. I thought he was going to get maybe, like, close to half of that, a little over half. Kind of like this past season where we signed him to 1 year for $6 million. But like you're saying, it would – like, what do you expect? You know, he's probably not going to pass physical. I mean, he just had a broken foot 2 months ago. But, I mean, we have a possible chance to get a tremendous upgrade of the offensive line, possibly bring Spain back. I mean, Spain best offensive lineman last year, and now it's probably, like, third maybe. Like, it's crazy. Now you look at their defensive line, being able to bring everybody back. Plus, you add on Joseph Asai, who had shown so much potential in preseason. And I'm not trying to be biased, but, I mean, it's crazy. Like, the Bengals are one of the favorites to not in the NFC, but in the NFL in general. When you have Burrow just had his first full season and led us to the Super Bowl. If we get Ogunjobi back with BJ Hill, like, that is insane. Because both of those guys, kind of like how we talked about with some other players, like, they are really good and far better than the stat sheet show. Like, BJ Hill and Ogunjobi, they, you know, clear some holes for some other guys, you know, that make a tackle. They'll get some sacks, tackles for loss, you know, pass deflections. Both of those guys are very, very underrated. I mean, plus we have, you know, DJ Reader. It's one of the better nose tackles in the league. And it's crazy that everything is going our way. All these signings we've made, whether it's Ted, Karras, Alex Kappa, Leo Collins, Bengal fans are still rejoicing over. We still have a chance, if we want, possibly to sign Larry Ogunjobi and, you know, Quentin Spain. And I really don't know how much money we have at the moment. I think maybe around $11 million. I might be wrong. But Quentin Spain, I wouldn't be surprised if he signed for like 1 year for like 5 or 6, or maybe 2 for 10 or 12, something like that. Larry Ogunjobi, kind of the same boat. But when you look at those two guys, we would be probably about over the cap. That's before the draft. So that would be kind of hard. I know if we were to cut some GP run, that would save about $2 million there. I would love to bring both of those guys back. I mean, that would help us out so freaking much, but I just don't know if we'll be able to. I would love to bring Ogunjobi back. I mean, like you said, there was times this past season he was better than BJ Hill. I mean, we saw how great BJ Hill was this past season. Ogunjobi bringing him back on defense, and that would be insane.
Yeah, 100%. And if you think about the big narrative in the last offseason was Tampa Bay wins the Super Bowl, and then they bring back all 22 guys, right? And everyone's thinking they're going to repeat. If you think of what the Bengals did, although we didn't win the Super Bowl, almost, let's be real, we brought back almost everybody, and we got improvements at several positions. So I think we did one step better than the Buccaneers, and we saw the Buccaneers fell short of the Super Bowl this year. And I think the Bengals have a very legitimate chance at going back. Nothing's easy. Anything can happen. Injuries can happen. Guys from other teams can excel. You have to go through Mahomes. You have to go through Josh Allen. You got to get through your own division, which is a very physical division. The Chargers are improved. You know, there's so many things out there to worry about, and it's hard to repeat. But we did everything we could at this point to put us in position to repeat as AFC champions.